My name is David Miller with McCulloch Miller. At McCulloch Miller, we have combined 60 years of legal experience, and we specialize in probate, estate planning, and elder law. We live in a time of incredible medical advancements that has done a lot to prolong the average age of the average American. And that is really good, but it does come with a downside. And that downside is, as we age, it's more likely that we're going to need some sort of care, including potentially nursing care or skilled nursing care. Unfortunately, that type of care in America is very, very expensive. And people often come to me and say, how am I going to pay for it? There's three ways to pay for it. One, you private pay, means you pay out of your own pocket. Two, you have some sort of insurance policy that will help you pay. Or three, the government pays. And they pay for that through a benefit called the skilled nursing benefit through Medicaid. I'm here today to talk about the Medicaid benefits and some of the pitfalls and some of the requirements that you have to go through to get eligible for Medicaid. Today I want to talk a little bit about what Medicaid is and what that benefit looks like, how you become eligible for that, the Medicaid Estate Reimbursement Program, or MERP, and then some of the options that you have when planning for Medicaid eligibility. First, what is Medicaid? Medicaid is a state-run program that provides benefits for all sorts of people. Only one of those benefits is the skilled nursing benefit. How that works is, if you are qualified for that, the state will calculate a copay for you, say maybe $1,000 or $1,400, which you pay for your income from Social Security or other sources. And then whatever the difference between the rate that the Medicaid facility is going to charge and your copay, the government will pay that directly to the facility. In some instances, this can equate to many, many thousands of dollars each month, which over someone's lifetime can equate to a very large amount of money. To be eligible for Medicaid, there's two main qualifications. You have to be medically eligible, or a medical practitioner has to sign off and say you need a certain level of care, and you have to be financially eligible. For financial eligibility, there's two tests. There's an asset test and an income test. Basically, if your assets are above a certain level or your income's above a certain level, you will not be qualified for Medicaid. The levels for financial eligibility will depend if you're single and applying, if you're married and one spouse is applying, or if you're married and both spouses are applying. Basically, if one individual is applying, the income level is $2,000 and the asset level is $2,000. That means you can't have more than $2,000 in countable assets, and you can't have more than $2,000 a month in income. If there's a couple and only one spouse is applying, the limits are higher. But essentially, what the government wants you to do is to spend all of your own money before they start cooking in a benefit. Now, you might have noticed that I said you can't have more than $2,000 in countable assets. And that's a really important distinction, because some of your assets, like your primary residence or a car, aren't going to be considered a countable asset and then won't count against you for Medicaid eligibility purposes. Unfortunately, the state also has a program called MERP, or the Medicaid Estate Recovery Program, which, if you get Medicaid benefits, once you pass away, or once you and your spouse pass away, the state of Texas will actually sue your estate to recover any benefits that it can. For instance, if you own a home, the state might try and sue against the value of that home to recover some of the benefits. Fortunately, there are a number of options that can help get you eligible for Medicaid while positioning your assets so they're protected from the Medicaid Estate Recovery Program. Those options include maybe a ladybird deed, maybe doing a Miller trust, maybe creating some sort of asset protection trust. The point is that it's very important to work with a skilled practitioner who's experienced in this, because it is a very rule-driven and economic-driven decision and process to find the best sort of options for you and your situation. Everybody is different, Everybody's finances are different and everybody has different needs and different timelines. But by working with a skilled practitioner, you can maximize the amount of public benefits you get from the state while protecting your own assets to help supplement your care, supplement your standard of living, and then maybe have something to leave to your family rather than spend all of your money on care and then be reliant completely on the state when you're out of money. When dealing with Medicaid, it is important that you work with a skilled practitioner who's experienced in dealing with the Texas state and with all the rules associated with Medicaid. If you would like a consultation with our firm, please contact us today.